I want to ask you all perhaps a radical question. What if the details of your sexual fantasies and porn searches actually contained the keys to the freedom that you have been waiting your whole life to find? I ask you that question because my research on nearly 4,000 men and women showed that our sexual fantasies and the porn searches that we make can actually be shaped and predicted based in the parts of our story that remained unaddressed. And to me, this has really huge implications. It means that your sexual brokenness can actually be a roadmap to healing, not a life sentence to sexual shame or addiction. And so what I want to invite you all to do now is to think about your life as a house. So it's late in the evening and you hear that familiar knock of lust come to your front door. What are you going to do? You know, in the past, you may have tried to use internet monitoring as a type of force field around your house to keep erotic material out. Maybe you tried to call a friend for backup and say, you know, I'm really struggling this week or tonight. Other times, if you're honest, you know that you have just let that trespasser come in to ransack various rooms of your life. And so what I hope you see in that is that most of our attempts to deal with our sexual fantasies usually have to do with either trying to manage our lust or to just let it come in and have its way. Neither lead to freedom. And so as one of my friends said to me when I was writing my book, he said, Jay, when I have been having the same conversation with my accountability partner for 15 years, and I keep trying to bounce my eyes from the same type of woman, something isn't working about that paradigm. And so what I want to invite you to is a third way that's not about indulging, but also isn't about suppression. It's about being curious. And so instead of just trying to keep those trespassers out, what if you went to the front porch of your sexual life and you began to interrogate your fantasies and your porn searches? You began to ask them questions like, why is it that I can be seduced by this porn search? What is it about this particular porn search that has been appealing to me since I was 15 years old? Or why is it that whenever I feel angry, I feel the need to be able to be sexual? You see, when you begin to be deeply curious about why you struggle, you're going to allow your brokenness to be one of the greatest teachers to you. It's my firm belief that the God of the universe is neither surprised nor ashamed of our sexual brokenness, but he understands those stories to be the primary terrain through which the work of redemption will be played out in our lives. And so throughout the scriptures, how do we see God engaging human brokenness and misery? God asks questions. He doesn't say to Adam, bounce your eyes from that next tempting piece of fruit. He says, Adam, where are you? And to Hagar, who's just been immensely traumatized by the first family of our faith, the angel of the Lord appears to her and says, where do you come from and where are you going? And so if you are hearing the voice of God with regard to your sexual brokenness, I hope that you hear a very kind and curious voice. Romans 2:4 says, do you not know that it is the kindness of God that leads to change? So many of us tried to manage our life to lead to change. So many of us also hate ourselves, and we go to war against our sexuality in the hopes that that battle might eventually free us. But that's not what the gospel is all about. The gospel says kindness is what changes us. Kindness is what leads us to repentance. And so my invitation to each of you watching this would be, can you be curious and kind with regard to your sexual brokenness? And in that curiosity, can you learn things about your life that need to heal? I hope you find this path of curiosity to be deeply liberating.